Welcome back to the news at 10. The head of Africa at the International Monetary Fund, Mr. Abebe Selassie, is calling for consistent and strong macroeconomic policies to improve the economy of the continent. Mr. Selassie, who was speaking at the launch of the Sub-Saharan Economic Outlook in Abuja, said the region experienced slow growth, put at 1.4% in 2016. He, however, says a growth of 2.6% is expected in 2017, which will majorly be driven by recoveries in oil production, especially here in Nigeria.
In particular, during gross acceleration.
Officials from the International Monetary Fund, Nigerian officials and other economic experts at the presentation of the Economic Outlook for Sub-Saharan Africa.
Like the Minister,
the Economic Outlook for the Sub-Saharan region, according to the head of African Department of the International Monetary Fund, witnessed a downward trend in commodity prices. It also shows that inflation was high, while high cost of food prices and fiscal deficits were witnessed in the region. IMF says the outlook is as a result of delayed policy adjustments, increase in public debt and declining reserves.
We've seen, particularly in the case of oil exporters, reserves trending down. The red bar here, the red line, shows basically the trend for reserves for oil exporters. In most of the other countries in the region, reserves have, they've been declining also, but have held up fairly significantly.
Government officials at the event admitted that 2016 indeed was a difficult year, which was characterized by low price of crude oil at the international market and youth's restiveness in southern Nigeria, leading to low crude oil sale.
Framework of risk-based supervision.
They are assured that the recently launched economic recovery plan offers solution to the challenges experienced.
The business model of extracting and exporting raw commodities with little or no value added cannot continue. This old approach must give way to a broad-based growth model driven by import substitution strategies that will localize production, help create jobs and achieve sustainable growth.
The recent introduction of the investor-exporter forex window has boosted liquidity in the foreign exchange market and has instilled or re-established the needed confidence by external investors in the economy.
The IMF gave advice on what Nigeria and other sub-Saharan countries could do to change the negative story.
This finding reinforced the call that we made earlier in the previous presentation for a strong domestic policy response to revive growth where it has faltered, but also to sustain it where it remains relatively strong.
The presentation of the economic outlook for the sub-Saharan region serves as a wake-up call for leaders in the region to join forces to improve their economies. Their actions in the long run is expected to improve the well-being of the people in the region.
Micro, small and medium-scale enterprises in Ogun State have been promised a more convenient business environment with all the necessary infrastructure. The state governor, Ibikunle Amosun, gave this promise in Akute during project inspection in the area. Governor Amosun says once the ongoing bridges and road construction in different parts of the state are completed, it will improve the lot of growing businesses in the affected areas.
We've been to Ayetoro, we've been to Imekwa, for Ilara, Tombolo, Ijon, Tata. We've gone around like that to Egua, to Ojaudon, back to Ilaro. Now we're here. Everywhere you see that everybody is working around the clock. And that is the idea, to make sure that all our projects are finished. This is Akute. This is not the way Akute is. During rainy season, people that live here, they can tell you. But by the time we finish this bridge, everybody to change the entire landscape of this place. Why are we doing this? People ask me that we are spending this kind of money. Why? The reason is that by the time we finish this place, all these small, micro, small, medium-scale enterprises, they will spring up. There are many of them here. Their activity is dead because no movement, there's no road, infrastructures are zero here. But now with what we are doing, I'm sure they are happy now to say now we live in Ogun State because of our activities.
And speaking about infrastructure, the Ekiti State Governor Ayodele Fayose has commended his counterpart in Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, for setting a good example in leadership and infrastructure development. Governor Fayose has been inspecting the Port Harcourt Pleasure Park and other projects to be commissioned as the state marks its Golden Jubilee.
the whole face of Rivers State is changing. And these are projects touching the life of the average man. At the markets, what I saw is heartwarming. Very, very, very pleasing. And I feel the governor has done very well. He deserves all commendation. And when you see the response of the people, you see there's one thing with serving the people, and another thing is the appreciation from the people. The body language of the people shows a lot of appreciation for this dynamic leadership by Nyesom Wike, the governor of Rivers State. And what I saw here again at this medical center is it can only be rewarded by God, because this is a finishing second to none. It is a thing we will continue to pray for, and we share ideas. We take some of these things to our states within available resources. We will do the needful. I am pleased to be here.
Governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayose. Let's take a look at some business news for the day. Here's Anne Wilder.
You first. First Bank.
Thanks a lot, Ijoma. Welcome to the world of business. The Nigerian government and Italian oil giant Eni have reached an agreement to build a new $15 billion refinery through its Egypt subsidiary in Nigeria. This was disclosed today by the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Dr. Ibe Kachiku, while speaking to journalists in Abuja shortly after meeting with the acting president, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, and top management of Eni at the presidential villa. Dr. Kachiku says the federal government is putting measures in place to ensure that oil companies in Nigeria start refining crude before 2019. The National Investment Promotion Commission says it is working on creating a profile of wealthy Nigerians with a view to encouraging local investment to grow the nation's economy. The Executive Secretary of the Commission, Mrs. Yewande Sadiku, stated this at an investment forum with state commissioners of trade and investments, as well as some investment promotion agencies in Abuja.
Standards also include identifying
state commissioners of trade and investment and representatives of some investment promotion agencies are in this meeting with the Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission on how to grow Nigeria's economy through local investment. The Executive Secretary of the Commission explains the strategy the Commission is adopting to encourage local investment.
The object being that we want to work with state governments, with state investment promotion agencies, with chambers of commerce, with commissioners and the like, to generate across Nigeria on a state-by-state basis a list of wealthy Nigerians, state by state. So we'd like this to result in a list of the 10 to 20 wealthiest people per state. And these people will form the anchors for the conversations that we have with Nigerians about what it will take to get Nigerians to invest in their own country.
On his part, the Statistician General of the Federation called on state governments to build a strong database that will attract investors to their states.
No matter the level of persuasion that our very hard-working executive secretary gives, no matter the number of persuasion that honorable commissioners give to come and invest in their states, if they cannot ascertain that that investment will generate them a return on investment, they will not invest. Simply. And part of the challenges they have is understanding that particular economy, understanding that particular state, and that's where the data comes in. The various participants here, the various states are at different levels in terms of the level of development of your data systems.
The federal government had in several fora stated its desire to revamp the economy through local investment. Economic experts argue that accurate data showing existing investment opportunities in the state is important to achieving that goal.
Include identifying suitable.
It's the 8th consecutive bullish run today and the longest gain streak for the Nigerian equities market this year, following positive performance of all counters, except of course for the industrial goods sector. Babisi Adebayo has the details.
Tuesday's trading at the Nigerian Stock Exchange recorded a 1.28% surge in the key benchmark index on sustained rally by bellwether stocks. As a result, the all-share index closed the session higher at 26,756.21, while the total market value rose by over 11 billion naira to berth at 9.24 trillion naira. For the second time this week, Owando led the gainers pack, comprising 33 other equities, including Fitson and Transcorp. From a list of 8 losers, Dangote Sugar, Linkage Assurance and Total emerged the top 3. The total volume of transactions yielded a higher turnover of 539.23 million shares, all traded in 4,519 deals worth 2.81 billion naira. And that's it on the stock market reports. I am Bisi Adebayo.
Thanks a lot, BC. As for U.S. markets, particularly the Dow Jones and the S&P 500, they closed lower over an hour ago after North Korea announced plans to proceed with its 6th nuclear test. Let's see the numbers. Thanks for watching Business News Tonight. I'm Anne Nwawode. The rest of the news at 10 continues now with Ijoma.
You first. First Bank.
Thanks a lot, Anne. The Bank of Industry has commissioned the first project it funded in collaboration with the National Agency for Food, Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC. Under the agreement signed a few months ago, BOI would only fund manufacturers of regulated products whose commodities are certified fit for consumption by NAFDAC.
Drug Control Laboratory, CDCL, Yaba.
To commission this equipment for the benefit of Nigerians.
This is the commissioning of the state-of-the-art Agilent high-performance liquid chromatography instrument installed at the NAFDAC Central Drug Control Laboratory, CDCL, Yaba, Lagos. The equipment is expected to ensure that only the right quality of food, drugs and other regulated products manufactured, sold and used in Nigeria get the NAFDAC certification in record time. Expressing her joy with BOI support, the Acting Director General of NAFDAC, Mrs. Yetunde Oni, says the equipment will help improve efficiency at the agency by reducing chances of counterfeiting of products regulated by it.
This instrument, procured with the support of BOI, will no doubt avail our laboratory analysts the opportunity to work with user-friendly, high-output, sensitive instruments with multiple detectors that can handle various product types, thus improving timelines of analysis of pharmaceuticals, cosmetics, veterinary and other regulated products.
The acting MD CEO Bank of Industry, Wahid Olagunji, explains why supporting this project is strategic.
They try to collaborate with NAFDAC to ensure that they're able to serve Nigerian enterprises better. Nigerian enterprises that produce NAFDAC-regulated products, i.e. food or drugs that are sold to the Nigerian public. As far as the Bank of Industry is concerned, we require that our customers should get NAFDAC registration before they can access our facilities. And we notice that there's usually a time lag there's usually a long delay before they can get back to us. So while discussing with NAFDAC management, we are told that the turnaround time can be reduced if they acquire this equipment.
With this new acquisition assisted by the Bank of Industry, Nigerians can rest, assured that only genuine regulated products will make it to the marketplace.
Still ahead on the news at 10, FIFA restates zero tolerance to racism in the wake of abuse suffered by Ghanaian midfielder Sule Muntari in Italy. That's on sports. Please stay with us.